Hey everyone, Revan here, and welcome back to episode 4 of Stoneblock 2, where today we're going to get into chickens and start working towards that AE system. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can't get done. All right, let's toss this in and let's see if we can't finally make our chicken catcher. What are we missing here? Toss you in there. Now I know I got a feather. And toss you in, and let's see here. We have sticks over here. Okay, so the chicken catcher is a stick, an egg, and a feather. And all we really need to do is, I think, bonk a chicken with it, right click it. Yeah. So now we have a normal chicken. Let's just kill you real quick so we can get all these other good old chickens here. There we go. Did we get all of them? No, we missed one. We can toss the feathers up in there, and we don't really care about the egg right now. All right, so let's see what we got for rewards. All right, so we completed the sieve, and we get some epic bacon for that, which is nice but not needed. For the chicken, we get into Black Lotus. All right. Then we did get a fluid cow from one of the rewards from the chests, and we got the water one as well. And I'm still not getting anything good for rewards. Man, I watch everybody else play this and they get like ultimate furnaces and stuff like that, and I end up with nothing. So in order to get into chickens, let's see. We're gonna need to build some hen houses, some egg nests, and a fun house. So the hen house is where we're gonna put the chickens to collect their drops, and the fun house is obviously it's a breeder. If you if you don't get the name, then I'm sorry. You'll figure it out one day. But let's see here. All right, so hen house. Let's see. That's gonna require hay bales, and this is why I've been farming wheat for a while. I started as soon as I could. Chicken breeder. We'll set that guy up, and the egg nest. We're also gonna need some more hay. So let's grab a bunch of wheat, and then we're gonna need some wood as well, some wood planks. All right, so breeder, just make up a bunch of hay. We can make 12 roosts to begin with. Grab some more of this, and all right, what did we make? Did we make the roost? Yeah, we made the roost. So for the breeder, we're gonna need some seeds. And we won't need as many breeders as we need roosts, because the breeders, essentially what I'll do is I'll chain them together, and then we can just run the chickens through once or twice as we go. Let's see here. Are we out of planks? We are. Okay, more planks in inventory. So let's make that guy. So we can have 26 breeders so that we can have more than one chicken breeding at a time. Essentially what I'll do is I'll make a line like this, right? So imagine your first chicken goes in here and it breeds up to like a 2-2 and then a 3-3, you know, so on and so on until it's a level 10 chicken. And then you'll get the most drops and it'll breed faster at the end. So having more than one breeder is going to be very good for us. Now there is a way to kind of set these up with some logic so that as they breed, they kind of get recycled out, and then the old chickens get taken out and then new ones get put back in. But I find it's just, you know, it's just simpler to set this up just in a straight line. You pop 2 chickens in and they go down the line breeding up. So we can actually just set these guys up in a row like this. That should be, I think 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and one more. 13. And then we'll just come to the back and hope that we actually have enough colors on the Ender IO cables here. But I'll just show you kind of what I do for the first couple, and then set the rest of them up so you don't have to watch each individual one here. But what we're going to do is we're going to extract on green on this one, always active, and then we're going to insert on green. And then we're going to extract on brown, always active, insert on brown, and then we'll just keep going up one on the color scheme. Okay, so I got this line all the way set up. As you can see, each of them are on a different color channel. And we did have enough to go all the way up to 13. We ended at magenta. So this is more than possible. And then all we need to do is toss in 2 chickens and some seeds, and these guys will breed up, and their offspring will be tossed into this guy over here, and then they'll breed up, and they'll just continue on down the line until hopefully we end up with 10 chickens. Now the breeding itself is going to take a very long time in the beginning, so don't expect this thing to just start, pushing things out. There are things you can do, like we could use our time in the bottle, which we seem to have lost, but yeah. All right, and the last thing that we can do to actually get started on roosts, on chickens, is to make a couple of these egg nests here, and then we'll just kind of set them up over in our farm, because the eggs are going to take quite a while to hatch. Now I have received a couple eggs from crates, so we should just be able to toss these guys down here, and then it is believed, I'm not 100% sure, how right it is or not, but if there is a light source over the nests, that they actually hatch quicker here. So we should just be able to right click these eggs into the nest. You gotta be careful, because I have done it before where if I right click slightly off of them, it'll throw the egg, and then it doesn't hatch. But we'll just leave those guys there underneath the lights, and eventually they'll hatch, and then we can use the chicken catcher on them, and then we should have a bone white chicken, which will give us bone meal, and a lapis blue chicken, which will obviously give us lapis. So let's see, let's keep our fingers crossed. I hope we get a decent reward here. All right, so we have a demonically gargantuan drum, which is cool. We'll get to use that. Spawner changer, which is useless, and an item magnet. I am not, again, having very good luck when it comes to these things. We're gonna toss you guys in here for now. All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It has been, in real life, I would say about 3 days since that last clip there, and I've done a few things around the base. The main reason I didn't really record any of it is because doing chickens, although it could give you lots of good stuff, as you can look around, I have lots of ingots and lots of items that I'm collecting from the roosts. It's pretty monotonous. It's not very entertaining to watch. So I did a lot of it off camera, and it really was just me babysitting the breeders, just popping a chicken in, letting it go through, AFKing, and in the meantime, as you can see, I did a little bit more decorating around the base. I started using some of this edge lighting up here, did the roofs on the hallways. I expanded our little storage room a little bit more, so I have a bunch more compacting drawers with a lot of the ingots that I'm collecting from the chickens, as well as started filling in the storage drawers that we have over here. This side of the room, I'm probably also going to include storage drawers, but I'm kind of just adding them as I need them. So let's go back into the chicken room. I also, kind of played around a little bit with the ceiling in here, so not 100% sure that, I'm completely happy with it, but it'll do for now. If I concentrate too much on it, I'm going to drive myself insane. Anyways, this room I haven't updated at all, other than the chickens on the wall that you can see over there. Those guys have just, like I said, it took me a lot of AFKing and a lot of grinding to get these guys done, but I didn't do anywhere near all the chickens. I just tried to do the chickens that I kind of felt like were going to come in handy to us later on. So we have things like, you know, the Ender Pearl chicken, Electrum, Copper, just a regular chicken for eggs, ink, energetic alloy, those kind of chickens. And then I am working on eventually getting up to Blitz chickens. Right now, I'm sorry, Blizz chickens. Right now we're working on the Blitz Rod chicken, which is the next step before the Blizz Rod chicken. For the Blizz Rod, we need the Blitz chicken and a Snowball chicken. So once these guys get 10-10-10'd, you know, we should be good to go on that. And then obviously as the game continues, if I find I need another one, I'm tossing it in. And the way that I'm collecting all of this, if I can open you back up over here, is I have these roost collectors, and what they do is they'll collect from roosts within a certain distance from themselves. I think it's 9 blocks, so it's going to be like 4 blocks off that way and 4 blocks off to the right, and then they go 2 blocks up. They don't go blocks down. And then I just have all of these running via Ender IO into our storage system over there. So it's not the fastest thing in the world. Some of the chickens are kind of being backlogged, like the sand. Actually, yeah. So the sand and the lapis, for whatever reason, these two, I think it's just because they produce so much that the roost collectors can't really keep up to them. And then these are just all of my extra, you know, breeding chickens. For some reason I have an extra lime in there. We can take that out and boop, trash can that guy. So that is what I have been working on for the past couple days. Also, as you may have noticed from the intro to the video, I did a little bit of digging. So if we come down here, this is essentially going to be our base expansion. Now it's all obviously still in stone. I haven't done any decorating, but what I did was I tried to make 4 separate rooms, so 1 in each cardinal direction. And then we'll have a room here for machines or whatever we're going to be using. And then we'll have this large space down here on each side for things like reactors or something else that might take up a lot of room and need a high ceiling. Ouch. And below each one of the 4 cardinal direction rooms, we have another smaller room down here as well. So just more room for storage and everything. And then the plans for this center area, I'm not sure how far down we're gonna have to dig or if it's gonna fit, but my plan is to put the draconic energy ball down in here. So a lot of this will be glass on top, and then so we'll be able to look down, and then the sides of the, I forget the the connector sides, I forget what they're called, we'll kind of go along these pathways, and then so you'll be able to look down at it. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm planning for the expansion. I mean, we still do have a little bit of room up here. We still have this corridor that we could open up and go out in that direction. But like I said, I'm thinking that side of the farm is going to be primarily like the chickens and probably the cows. So if we do open this up, you know, I'll probably end up joining it with that room over there and just make a large room. Because once we start getting into the fluid cows, we're gonna need a little bit more room for breeding up all the cows and stuff like that, because they don't have those nifty little roosts. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. So for now, what I want to concentrate on is getting into Applied Energistics and, you know, getting ourselves an ME system set up. So as far as the quest line goes, we do have a few quests to claim here. As you can see, I did pretty much all of the chicken quests, so we can collect all of these guys up real quick, and then, you know, onesie twosie fluid cows that we've gotten from opening up the loot crates. As far as the loot crates go, we haven't really gotten much, mainly because I'm the smartest person in the world, and I had this turned off, so it wasn't extracting anything. Yeah, that was fun. Another thing, that was loud. Another thing is this is getting filled up with experience. So eventually I'm gonna have to get some type of XP siphon or something going on for that. But yeah, we only have 42 of the epic crates and 7 of the legendaries, which, you know, I say we open up real quick. Just open up these legendaries, because maybe we'll get lucky and get something that can help us along our way here. I don't think there's anything for Applied Energistics in here, but we can check. We got a Solarium dagger, Draconium blocks, which we have Draconium chickens, so not a huge thing. Tier 5 cobble gen, that's help. Another tier 5. Another dagger. Geez. Wow, I want my ultimate furnace. I'm not sure if I'm being too picky with that, but yeah. Okay. Chickens. Now I think yeah, we can just claim all these rewards. So what do we get here? We have 2 void ore miners. We have some draconic cores, which is kind of cool. Forge lexicon. 2 reinforced conversion kits, which might come in handy, but we have pretty much everything we need to make that. Imaginary time block, and anything that we haven't really had yet. Well, I suppose the ender tanks, we haven't gotten any of those, so it's meh. It's meh. It's kind of how I feel about it. What is this? Resonant exchanger. Oh well. I'm not really sure what that does, but all right, let's let us check out Applied Energistics here. So obviously when you get into Applied Energistics, the first thing you normally need to do, I shouldn't say normally, the first thing you need to do period is start with your inscribers. So we need to figure out how to make these inscribers here. We need some iron, sticky pistons, and fluix crystals. Now fluix crystals are dropping charged Certus quartz, 1 nether quartz, and some redstone dust into a puddle. Okay, well, after a lot of work, I managed to dig a single hole in our floor, and I got ourselves a bucket of water. So we are going to make some fluix. All we got to do for this is, obviously, you need a puddle of water, and then you're going to be taking your charged Certus quartz, some redstone, and nether quartz, and just tossing that all into the water at once, and then kind of back up and give it some room to do its stuff. But it'll kind of bubble up there, and eventually it'll all turn into fluix crystals. So now we have 64 fluix crystals. The next thing that we need is a bunch of iron and some sticky pistons. And then now luckily we do have a slime chicken and an iron chicken. We also have a log chicken, and we also have a bonsai. So we're pretty much set on making pistons for the rest of eternity. So I managed to make us up some here, and we got some iron, so we should have everything that we need. And oh, I was wrong. We do not have the sticky pistons converted into regular pistons. Just wanted to verify that they're both sticky. Where is this? There it is. Slime. So let's just make those real quick. All right. Okay. Inscribers. So I like starting off with 5 inscribers. That always seems to work for me. That gives me 1 inscriber for the silicone, 1 inscriber for the logic, 1 for the engineering, 1 for the calculation, and 1 for actually making the complete circuits. Later on, we'll turn these guys into the I think it's AE2, the advanced inscribers. So these advanced inscribers, but before we can do that, we need to get these engineering presses. And in order to get the engineering press, we need to print out some engineering circuits, which I think are these. Yeah, these are just diamonds. All right. So obviously in this pack, we are in a stone world, completely surrounded by stone. So if you're claustrophobic, I'm sorry that you're playing this pack. But normally you'd go out and you'd find a meteorite, and then you'd have to dig that up, and you would find these presses inside of a chest inside the meteorite. we obviously don't have those, so we need to actually craft them. So let's just add these onto our hotbar here. Now that we have them on our hotbar, we can take a look at how we need to make these. There's a couple different ways we can craft them up. If we were to have mystical agriculture, we can make them with Certus Quartz essence. However, we didn't really get into any of that. I'm not sure if we're going to get too much into it, but just because we have the chickens and the cows, it's not really necessary. We can make them with the inscriber. If we already had an engineering press, we could use a block of iron to get another one. But since we don't have one, we're kind of forced into having to use an induction smelter. So we need a block of Invar and some diamond. And then for the next one, we're going to need Invar and Certus Quartz, Invar and gold, and Invar and silicone. So if you notice a pattern there, what we need in order to make the press is actually what we're going to be using inside the inscriber to make the circuit. So the engineering press always uses diamonds in order to make the circuit. The calculation always uses Certus Quartz. The logic processor is always gold, and the silicone press is always silicone. So the only thing we don't have, well, actually this is letting us use regular Certus Quartz. In order to make the actual one, I think you got to use the pure. But so we already have some regular Certus Quartz on us, so we're just gonna need to grab us some silicone. We can find the gold, diamond, and gold, and then we're also gonna need Invar. Is this? There it is. We'll just grab a stack of Invar blocks since we have an unlimited supply, unlimited power, which we don't have yet. All right, so once we come over to our induction smelter, we can just grab up 5 of those guys and toss in our gold, toss in our Certus Quartz, toss in our diamond, and toss in our silicone, and we now have all 4 of the inscriber presses. So we've completed all of those quest lines. The next thing we need to do, especially because for the calculation press we need the pure Certus Quartz in order to make the circuits, we need to get into the growth acceleration chambers. Now again, AE2 is in this pack, so I highly recommend not utilizing the base ones for longer than you have to, because you can make the advanced crystal growth accelerator, which is much better. But for this, let's add that to the bar, and let's see, where is the advanced one? So crystal growth chamber is what we want to get to at the end of the day, and for that we just need 6 of these growth accelerators. Come over here to our AE chest over here and just kind of toss this stuff in here because we don't need it right now, so that we can kind of clear out a little bit of inventory space here. We have some Fluix blocks which we've gotten from drops. We have our glass, and we have some crushed nether quartz dust. So we should be able to make ourselves a decent amount of quartz glass. That'll do. Toss the rest of that in there. And then for the crystal growth chamber, we're going to need some of these Fluix crystals. So we're going to need a little bit more of the crushed quartz and some regular glass. We still have a decent amount of glass, but let's go grab us up some more of that and crush it up. Crushy. Everything is crushed. All right. So we can make some of our quartz fibers here. Might as well make a bunch since we are definitely going to need quite a lot of them. And we should still have, we still have more of the quartz glass here. So we're missing iron, and we can get that. So we got ourselves a stack of glass cables. Now let's see about this. I think we needed 6 of these, right? 6. There we go. And then for the chamber itself, we need a hopper, a glass conduit, I'm sorry, a glass cable, and a chest. I think we do have some hoppers left. Do we have any chests left? Like finding a needle in a haystack. Okay, so now we can make the crystal growth accelerator. Now the main difference between the regular crystal growth accelerators and the crystal growth chamber is the fact that the chamber acts like a machine, whereas you can click on it, open up an inventory, toss in your seeds that you want grown for the pure Certus quartz or the pure nether quartz, and it'll grow, and you can like toss like a stack in there at a time. The regular growth accelerators, you need to have them all hooked up to power and have an open block in the center filled with water, and you throw your seeds in there, and then they kind of accelerate the growth of the seed that is in that water. So you theoretically, depending upon if you're in a server or if you have some type of lag clear setup, you could lose the seeds that are in there. So it's just a little bit easier to do the growth chamber. Also, you can hook up a interface to it and recipes, and so you can automate the growth of seeds, which will come in handy later on in the pack when, you know, we're doing some more of the heavy lifting, so to speak. But let's just grab that guy out and let's see what it wants us to do next. So next on the chopping block, we have the CD-ROM, or the disk drive, whatever you want to call it. So we need to make this. In order to make this, we need engineering press and engineering processors. But because we upgraded to the advanced inscribers, and these guys, the advanced inscribers only take power from AE2, we kind of need an energy acceptor. So if we can't make an energy acceptor, we're gonna have to make an extra inscriber to get started. So let's check out the energy acceptor. Okay, so yes, we can make an energy acceptor. Now this, well, all this does is it imports power from your network or whatever you have going on. If it's all cables, it's all cables. You'd hook a cable up to the energy acceptor, and then you'd hook up the glass cables running into your ME machines, because the ME machines, the Applied Energistics machines, don't normally run off of just regular RF. Like you can't hook up a flux point to them, or Ender IO energy conduits and stuff like that. So you definitely need one of these guys, especially if you're upgrading directly to the growth chamber or the advanced subscribers right off the bat. But this guy shouldn't be difficult to make. We can just pop him in, and let's see, what do we need for this? We need 2 of the engineering presses, and those are going to be diamond, I believe. Yes. So we got to make sure that we have some diamond on us, some silicone on us. We are going to need, I forgot we didn't actually upgrade. We're going to need to get the silicone press and the engineering press. All right, and then we'll just kind of come in here for now. Oh, look at that. Surprised I didn't have a mob try to spawn on me. And this guy, I suppose for now we can just hook him up right there. This is not gonna be pretty, but it'll get us what we need to do. So we can just run these guys over here, and those, I'm not sure if we need to do this. I just do this out of the sake of doing it, and then we can take our growth chamber and toss that down. There. So that is receiving power. These guys are receiving power. So let's toss our energy inscriber in there, toss our diamond in, and that'll start pressing out, and then we can toss silicone in there. Now, as you can see, I can only put one item. I'm clicking on the silicone, but it's not accepting it. It's only taking one item at a time. It will stack items in the output, but it will only accept one item per process in the actual input Then we can just, we'll take this guy real quick. We can come over here. We'll toss in our redstone, our printed circuits, and our printed silicone here. And that will actually get us the fully assembled circuit. And now we have 2 engineering processors. So we can actually make ourselves a drive. And we now have an ME drive. Look at that. We are just cooking along here. Okay, so before we get too far into AE, I do want to upgrade these guys just because it's going to make the rest of the process go a lot faster. I don't think we're going to fully get an Applied Energistics ME system today. But if I can get all of these guys upgraded to their advanced inscribers, that will definitely be very beneficial to us. So I'm going to toss this guy in here. Now, if I grab a hopper, I can actually set these hoppers into the inscribers and hopper the items in. I could also pull the items out if I wanted to. Now I could do this with Ender IO conduits, and I theoretically could fully automate these inscribers. I've done it in the past in other packs. For all I know, I might end up having to do it in this pack because something about Applied Energistics and AE2 and the wireless security terminal, I've had issues with in the past where it will break the blocks. So, you know, sometimes I need to actually go and just revert back to the regular inscribers. And so you'd have to set them up with mostly just back inputs and then an output like on the front or something like that. The end one is usually the trickier one to fully automate because items need to go in from different sides and it gets a little bit cluttered. But we are just going to sit here and get ourselves some of these engineering processors here until we have enough to fully upgrade these guys to their advanced state. And I think we have more than enough of the engineering processors to fully upgrade these guys. Okay, so we'll kind of come over here and I think we're going to need pretty much just hoppers. Yeah, so we're going to need 10 hoppers. So let's just grab these guys up real quick. And then we should be able to just pop these guys in here. It's only saying we have enough for 4. So what am I missing? Did I miss? I did. I missed one of the inscribers here. We'll just toss those guys down and pick this guy up real quick. It's a problem. The further I get in the pack, the more jacked up my inventory gets. But now we can take these guys and we can say we want to put the, we can say we want to put the engineering press in there and let's just say the silicone press in there, right? And now if we wanted to, we could toss an entire stack of items into, if we had an entire stack, into these machines. As you can see, there's 3 in there now and they'll keep going and we can lock it. So like if we wanted to, we could have an inscriber press that was really only its sole purpose in life was to push out one of the engineering processors, so we could lock it to only receive the circuits and the silicone press, and then just feed it redstone over and over and over again, and it'll just constantly pop these guys out. But it is definitely gonna be nice to have this. So we have all 3 of these set up and it's just going to slowly work. And we can also put 5 upgrades in this as opposed to the 4 of the regular presses. So yeah, these things are awesome. Now the growth chamber, I'll show you how that works real quick. So in order to use the growth chamber, we need to make seeds. There's 2 main seeds that we're going to use. We're going to be using the nether quartz seeds and the fluix seeds, and they're made pretty much the same way. For the nether quartz, we're just taking crushed nether quartz and some sand, and we mix that together, and then we get 2 stacks of the seeds, and we'll toss these into the growth chamber, and that will make us our pure seeds, or our pure crystals. And then the same thing for the fluix dust. We just take fluix crystals, crush those down, mix them together with some sand, and we get seeds. We can then come over to our growth chamber and just toss all of these guys up in here, and they will slowly, as you can see, all at once, start growing up. And I shouldn't say start growing up. they'll start growing into the full pure seeds. And we utilize those seeds for different things. So the annihilation cores, which we're going to use a lot, especially making components for the AE2 system, they require the pure. We can also use it to apparently make lighting detection. But let's check out the Fluix. So the use is on this guy. In order to make the P2P tunnel, it says we can use it. Some of these aren't always only going to be pure. They'll, in their actual recipe, it might show that you can use regular Fluix crystals, but having them on standby is always a good idea. But yeah, they're already fully developed. We have 2 stacks of pure nether quartz crystals and 2 stacks of pure Fluix crystals. So if we ever need them for anything, you know, we'll have those on standbys. Now, like I said, the calculation, I can't spell. The calculation circuit is going to require the pure Certus quartz crystal. So I was wrong. There's 3 of them. So this one, same thing. We just crushed down some Certus quartz, which we have in abundance thanks to our stonework factories, and some sand, and we'll grow those up. So yeah, that's essentially the basics of, you know, what everything that you're going to need in order to get into your ME system. So next episode, I think, next episode, we should be able to fully make our ME system. In between episodes, I'll do a little bit of grinding here to get some disk drives, or at least the components for everything ground up and prepared. And I'm also going to do a little bit more decorating, especially in this room, to kind of rearrange things. But as always, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. If you enjoyed the content and you haven't subscribed yet, I ask that you do. It definitely helps me and let me know that I'm putting out content that people are willing to see. So as always, stay awesome, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time.